There is a number sitting on my kitchen table right now. It came in an envelope from the electric company 3 weeks ago, Zell dollars. It has been $0 every summer for as long as I can remember. My father paid zero. His father paid zero. And the farmhouse we live in, the one my grandfather built with his own hands in 1921, has never once been connected to the grid. My name is Edwin Yoder. I was born and raised Old Order Amish in Holmes County, Ohio. I am going to show you exactly how this house stays cool, lit, and fully functional through an Ohio summer without drawing a single watt from the power company. Not because we suffer through it, not because we sacrifice comfort, but because we figured out a long time ago that the grid is a choice, not a requirement. Stay with me because the last thing I show you is the one that will surprise you most. It surprised me when my father first explained it to me, and I grew up knowing all of this. Let me start with the thing that costs every American household the most money in summer and costs us nothing: cooling. The average American family spends between $400 and $600 running air conditioning from June through August. That is one season, one appliance. More money than my grandfather spent on anything in an entire year. Here is what he understood that the people who built your house did not. Heat does not come from inside. It comes from outside and gets in. Your air conditioner does not make cold. It takes heat that got into your house and throws it back outside. You are paying a machine to undo a problem that your house created by letting the heat in to begin with. We stop the heat at the door. Literally, every window on the east side of my house is open before sunrise and closed by 8 in the morning. The night air comes in cool. By the time the sun is up and heating the air outside, every east window is shut and covered. The cool air we pulled in overnight is now trapped inside. By mid-morning, I open the windows on the north side. The north wall of an Amish farmhouse in Ohio almost never sees direct sun. The air on the north side of any house is always cooler than the air on the south or west. We pull that cooler air through and let it move through the house slowly. By 2 in the afternoon, everything is closed, every curtain drawn, every window shut. The house is sealed like a root cellar. And here is the number that matters. On a day when it is 94 degrees outside, the inside of this farmhouse has never read above 76 on my thermometer. Never. Not once in 30 years of me keeping track. I did not invent this. The Romans called it night flushing. They built their villas with this exact sequence in mind. Open at night, closed during the day. North-facing windows for daytime ventilation. The Pueblo people of the American Southwest built entire cities around this principle 800 years before Rome fell. Every civilization that survived a hot climate without machinery figured out the same thing independently. The air is free. The timing is everything. But here is what my neighbor does not understand when I explain this to him. The curtains are not decoration. They are the system. My wife makes our curtains with 2 layers of heavy cotton and a layer of wool batting between them. When those curtains are closed on a west-facing window at 2 in the afternoon sun is hitting fabric, not glass. The glass behind it stays cool. The wall behind the glass stays cool. The room behind the wall stays cool. Every degree of temperature that curtain keeps out is a degree my body does not have to sweat off, and a dollar that stays in my pocket. If you have thin curtains, you do not have curtains. You have decoration that does nothing. The single highest impact change any homeowner can make before next summer is to hang heavy curtains on every west and south facing window and close them before noon. That is it. That is the whole cooling bill for half the country. Now, let me tell you about light, because this is the part people find hardest to understand. We do not have electric lights. We have never had electric lights. And our house is not dark. My grandfather positioned every window in this house based on where the sun would be at the times of day when we needed light the most. Morning light comes from the east. He put the kitchen windows facing east. We cook breakfast in full natural light without touching a switch. Midday light is from the south. The main room has south-facing windows that flood the room through lunch. By evening, we are winding down anyway, and a kerosene lamp on the table gives more than enough light for a family to read, talk, and finish the day. The Department of Energy estimates that lighting accounts for about 15% of the average American household's electric bill. We cover that 15% with window placement and one lamp that burns about a teaspoon of fuel an hour. But here is what I want you to understand about light that goes beyond the lamp and the window. The reason your electric lighting bill is high is not because light is expensive. It is because your house was built without any thought for where the sun would be. Developers in the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s built subdivisions where every house faces the street regardless of compass direction. A house facing north has no morning light in the kitchen. A house facing west is dark all morning and blinding all afternoon. Neither one was designed for the sun. Both of them were designed to fit a lot. The Amish have always oriented the house to the sun first and the road second. That single decision, made once before the foundation is poured, is worth decades of lower lighting bills and cooler summers. Now I want to tell you about the cook stove, because this is the thing that surprised my neighbor most, and the thing I promised you at the beginning. In summer, we do not cook inside. I know that sounds simple. Maybe it sounds obvious. But follow me for a moment, because the numbers here will change how you think about your kitchen. A standard electric oven running at 350 degrees for 1 hour dumps between 2,000 and 2,500 BTUs of heat directly into your kitchen. Your air conditioner then has to remove those BTUs from the house. You are paying to make heat and then paying again to remove it. Every time you bake in a hot summer kitchen, you are running 2 appliances to accomplish 1 meal. My wife built a summer kitchen in 1987. It is a small roofed structure attached to the back of the house by a covered walkway. open on two sides, wood stove inside. All the cooking heat goes straight out into the summer air where it belongs. The main house never feels it. Before the summer kitchen, there was the outdoor bake oven. My grandmother used it from May through September without exception. A clay and stone dome fired once in the morning, holding heat for hours, sitting 40 feet from the house. Every loaf of bread, every pie, every roasted chicken cooked outside where the heat could not follow her back indoors. This is not a hardship. This is engineering. You are moving the heat source to where heat is already welcome, outside, instead of fighting it indoors with a machine that costs you money every hour it runs. Here is what you can do right now without building anything. A propane camp stove on the back porch. A charcoal grill under an awning. A small electric induction burner on an outdoor table under a shade structure. Get the cooking heat out of the house. Do it for 1 month and look at your electric bill. The cooling savings alone will pay for whatever outdoor setup you buy. And the last thing, the one I promised. Water every Amish farm in Holmes County has a rain barrel, usually more than one. Mine has 6, one at each downspout, connected in series so they fill from the same roof in order. A standard roof in a moderate summer rainfall area can collect 40 to 50,000 gallons of rain per year. We use that water for the garden, for the animals, for washing down equipment, for every outdoor use that would otherwise come from a pressurized well pump drawing electricity every time someone turned a hose on. A well pump running at 3/4 horsepower draws about 750 watts. In a dry summer, when you are watering a garden daily, that pump runs for hours. Rain barrels fed by gravity cost nothing to operate. They fill themselves. And in a summer, when water bills in some parts of this country are running $80, $100, $120 a month, a 6-barrel system and a garden hose will cover most of what a family actually uses outside. My grandfather did not set up rain barrels to save money. He set them up because carrying water from a well by hand will teach you very quickly to catch every drop that falls from the sky for free. That is the whole system. Open east windows before sunrise, close them by 8. North windows for midday ventilation. Heavy curtains on west and south glass, closed before noon. House sealed by 2 in the afternoon. Cook outside from May through September. Catch rain for every outdoor use. Zello dollars. Tell me in the comments what your electric bill runs in summer. And tell me what state you are in, because the people in Texas and Florida and Arizona who are paying $400 a month are the ones I most want to hear from. Next week, I am going to show you what my wife does to keep food cold through an Ohio summer in a house with no refrigerator, not a root cellar. Something smaller, something that fits in any kitchen, that uses nothing but a clay pot, sand, and water, and keeps produce fresh for 3 weeks without a single degree of electricity. It is called a Zir pot. The Egyptian government documented it in 1995. A Nigerian teacher won an international prize for it in 2001. And the reason you have never heard of it is the same reason nobody told you about the curtains. There was nothing to sell you.